Hi everybody, hi, my name is Elena Ra. It's so good to be here in my very, very special place. The place I call my sweet spot, which is just resting under my medicine tree. It's so healing and so grounding, and this podcast is really about grounding one's energy body. And in my case, I regard a very large part of my energy body as my emotional body, and emotions are actually simply energy in motion, and they tell us how we're feeling moment by moment, how we feel about a situation, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about life, love and living. So emotions are really important as a guidance system to direct us, to get us to check in how we're feeling. If we're feeling guilt or pain or shame or sorrow, these are all indicators in what's happening within us. So for example, guilt is telling us that we're not following our true inner guidance and our true knowing. So when you feel guilty, it's because you're not honoring yourself. Shame is something that is placed upon us, normally through childhood, and it's not ours to hold. We're not born with shame. And there are so many other emotions and feelings that we're not born with. So it's really important to ground yourself and to find a really special place where you can go and restore and ground and connect. And particularly just allow the energy in motion to just be drawn back into the earth, particularly any negative emotions or feelings or emotions that are bringing you down. And they're bringing you down so they can be drawn out into the earth. So Mother Nature, Pachamama, is so resilient and actually is here in South American shamanism. They call it hucha, which is dense energy. And Mother Nature loves that kind of thing because, let's face it, the earth is sediments and layers and layers and layers of decay for new to grow. Isn't that amazing? So when you look at it from that perspective, you really do realize that nothing is ever truly lost in terms of energy. You know, it's just transformed into something else, and Mother Nature is really the greatest conduit for that, and that's why we so need to be near her, to enter her womb, to rest upon her bosom, to look after her, you know, not to poison her arteries, her waterways, the air, and all these things that sustain life here on earth. So this is really important. I know many people have been going through very deep transformational processes, just like I have. And there's something about being on the edge of that emotion or that feeling or that resistance, you know, that has been perhaps plaguing you through various cycles in your life. And it comes to a point where resisting that no longer serves us, and it's really important that we really allow ourselves to go to the edge and allow it to flip over, you know, to sit in that space. And that's what I've been doing. And I actually recognize that within that space that I am able to sit in that pain or unresolved issue or unrequited love expectation that I may have had, and just sit with it. Just allow it to be in the space. And I think that's really relevant right now in terms of what's happening on the planet. By us allowing ourselves for all the variations of human behavior and, religions, thoughts, ideas, ways of being, particularly in the spiritual community, just to be allowed to be in the space without judging it, because I think there's something that we can all learn within this arena. We can all learn about how we can become more tolerant and how we can learn more acceptance and find new ways of being, because as we enter into the age of Aquarius is really all about community, and it's really about what it means to be human, and for those who are marching forward with some sort of humanitarian flag, it's really important to recognize that people skills are really important. Having the ability to be compassionate, to empathize, to communicate is really essential if that is the path you want to follow. Because I believe that people are really going to recognize and connect with you because they see themselves in you. And that's that whole namaste. And it's not just the God in me sees the God in you. It's the human in me sees the human in you. The human in me recognizes the human in you. And that is the sacred bridge into the higher aspects of ourselves. Or if nothing else, it really allows us to be compassionate and to acknowledge the human journey. Because yes, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, but yet the emphasis is in the human experience. The idea of bypassing the human experience and all the difficulties and pain and separation that comes as a process, not necessarily as a consequence, but as a process, is the human journey and is the human story. So we're here really to allow divinity to become embedded within the human template, to allow our sovereignty to become embedded as part of being human. So the most sacred mission, or the most sacred mission that we're here to experience, is that of being human. Yummingly, perfectly imperfect, to allow ourselves to fall, to allow ourselves to make mistakes, to allow ourselves not to know from time to time, to allow our higher beings, our higher selves to descend into this beautiful, exquisite body matrix that we call all of this. You have one too, and we are at a time where it's really important to incorporate mind, body and soul and spirit, to walk as complete integrated beings, to not just work from the heart upwards, but to include the lower chakras. When I was in America, I had a Kundalini awakening, and it really was around my lower chakras. And this was really just telling me that, for me to really move into the next stage of my life, it's important that all my chakras are on fire, are alight, and are activated. So I'm really happy for that. So here I am in Waterloo Park. The sun is shining. Look at that. It's such a beautiful day, and every day brings a promise of renewal. Every day brings a promise of restoration, and restoration back to its original state, not how it used to be, but to its original state. So let us give thanks. Let us give thanks. And now what I'd like to do is I'd like to pay homage to the earth and the waters. and particularly our physical body and our emotional body. So I hope you enjoy this. Water, earth, water, earth, emotions, and the body. Emotions and the body together. I love you. Embrace all that you are, particularly your emotions. Allow them to serve you. Allow them to guide you. And once you understand what the higher learning is, let them go, because they do come and go anyway. Love your body. Embrace all that you are, perfect, whole and complete. And most of all, connect with the elements, connect with Mother Nature, connect with Pachamama, and connect with the waters. They are so healing. Give thanks for being pushed out of your comfort zone. Give thanks for every contraction and every expansion, just like breathing in and breathing out. Give thanks to the sun and the moon, to above and below. Give thanks to within and without. Give thanks for right turns and left turns. Give thanks for the all in all in all. Give thanks for every experience that comes into your life. And especially give thanks to the experiences that we learn the greatest lessons that allow us to truly align ourselves to who we truly are, to allow ourselves to set really clear boundaries and really clear outlines on who and how we choose to live our lives in the greatest way possible, in the most magnificent way, so we can live a life that is full, open, complete, yummy, and exceptional. Because we are the ones we have been waiting for, you and I. And for someone like myself who has moved through time and space, through density, I have reached my higher self, and the greatest lesson was for my higher self to descend into human form. And for that to happen, it's important that we clear away the last vestiges of duality and really step into the sacred marriage that resides within you and I, that beautiful dance of light and shadow, of masculine and feminine energy, of spirit and physicality. This is the greatest alchemy that we are yet to experience as a species. To not deny the physical, to not deny the emotional, to not deny the mental realms, to not deny or bypass the soul, but to include. We are stepping into a time that is not exclusive to one area of being or one area of life. It is totally inclusive. And this makes the time that we are stepping into really, really exciting and really, really special. So let it be. Allow yourself to really step into your fullness, to expand into your fullness, to expand into your greatness, to expand into every last vestige that requires light and love and living. Life is for living. We need no longer hide away. And the living is to step out in the world and to show up in the most magnificent way that you know. And there's a plan for you, a specific plan, and there's no need for us to follow another or to follow some fad or idea. Just go within and allow all that you are to unfold naturally. Allow all your gifts. Allow yourself to express love in the most beautiful and immaculate way that you know how. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. For my beautiful medicine tree here in Waterloo Park, I thank you. 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 Happy autumn time in the Northern Hemisphere and happy springtime in the Southern Hemisphere. It's so gorgeous and it's such a wonderful time to be alive, to be alive. So much is taking place, so much is changing. So it's so important to go through this process, whatever process you're going through. It's so important to lighten our loads and to really allow ourselves to be present and to be on purpose and to be compassion in action. And of course, all of those things start with yourself. They start with you. They start with you. And you don't need to be complete to be out there and to be helping other people, because there are always people who would love to spend time with you, because we are social creatures, and it's really time for us to connect with our family and our soul family. And there are so many people who are on our way into our lives to show us new ways of being, to reflect aspects of ourselves that perhaps we hadn't been able to see. Relationships are really important for that sort of thing, because that's how we really learn more about ourselves rather than being with ourselves. Though you can also learn a great deal with just being with yourself. So I love you. My name is Elena Ra from this beautiful, sacred medicine tree, the twisted willow, on this glorious autumn day. I love you. Namaste. Be well, be well.